hadn't anticipated how difficult it would be to live in a community that is dealing with trauma on a day-to-day basis. I had so much hope that what we worked at would achieve a radically different outcome for the families we were working with. I had set up a small preschool and was working with the mothers of the children who were attending. So the children were at risk from abuse and neglect, and the mothers were struggling with addiction. And I just had this clear hope that if I go and raise my children alongside them and pray, that Jesus would just be so compelling that everything would change. And I think about 3-4 years in, I began to see this isn't happening, and these children are growing up still in trauma. And my mind and my body started to break, and I just couldn't keep going any longer. I was anxious, I was depressed, I was worrying about all sorts of things. There came a point where I realized I'm not coping with the weight that I'm carrying. And I think that began a whole process for me of letting go of this kind of supernatural version of myself that I had hoped that I would be. Someone who could just carry everything. I could carry my kids, and I could carry the community, the women, the children, the church. And I couldn't, and I broke, and we had to leave. And it was so heartbreaking because I felt like we were not only letting the community down, but we were also saying no to a dream that we felt God had put on our hearts. And suddenly life got really small. And we had to step back. I remember at that point, I was going for a walk with the Lord on the beach, and I said to him, I just don't feel like I can give up. You are God. Like, you are worthy. You're full of fire. You're full of love. I want to give you everything. And I felt him say, Kate, I am worthy of what I have called you to do. I'm worthy of obedience to what I've called you to do. And what I've called you to do is these babies. This is your home, and this is your calling. And I think that began in me a surrender to a much smaller, hidden sacrifice. And this verse began to take root in my life, which is in Psalm 40. David says it, and Jesus quotes it later in the Gospels. Sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but my ears you have pierced. I desire to do your will. Your law is within my heart. And I just felt God say, actually, I don't want your sacrifice. I don't want your huge big offering. I just want to pierce your hearts, my little girl. I want you to listen to me and do what's in front of you. And that has begun this completely liberating, beautiful journey, sometimes challenging, because doing small things for God isn't sometimes as easy as doing big things. But it's been such a peaceful, joyous journey of intimacy with the Lord, of being faithful to Him where I am and giving my children my absolute best.